About me dying, actually I'm not dead. The director of the mine laughed and joked, anyone can steal the mine's dynamite, only you don't know how to get it. You are an honest person, you can't find a torch when you look for it. I rejoiced in my heart, so why did the director call me up? Talk to me about something. I just said, you are an honest person, and an honest person that makes me especially secure. The director sat down on the sofa, turned twice, and said, I don't go around the Three Kingdoms anymore. This incident, like every year, is the responsibility of the mine. The number of deaths must not exceed the norm. You also know, if the limit is exceeded, what will be the consequences? Factory must close, people lose their jobs, scattered. Yes, the target is 3 people, but this year only 2 people leave. Fortunately, thanks to a wise policy, everyone tries, God bless. We must not exceed the target, but we should not waste it either. Today, I invite you to come up here and give me the remaining quota. I was startled, and said, let me die? In this life, I have not touched a girl yet. Who really made you die? Think about it, it's also raining and windy. What if next year, the number of deaths exceeds the target? Mine leaders want to reserve this target. If something happens in the next year, then there's something to deal with. I understood, said, next year if the number of unfortunate people who die increases by 1, then he will die this year, right? The mine manager was overjoyed. Look at you, your mind is smarter than mine. Yes, as long as you agree, the mine leader will give you 100 dong as a subsidy to remove your name and cut off the number of troops. I scratched my head and smiled. I follow the director, I follow the boss. In May of the following year, the mine manager called me up again. His face was pale white. Last night, 4 people went down to the mines, but no one returned. The director sighed and said, this time, you're really dead. Am I dead? I was dumbfounded. Last night it was not my turn to go to work, but a Thai and Q2 left. I want to say that you cut off your name half-heartedly last year, you must be dead by now. I still don't understand. This time we lost 4 people, exceeding our target by 1. Had to use the quota that he had cut off before. If not, the mine must be closed. Oh, this, I froze, asked, sir, will this month's money cut off my name still be distributed to me? Still playing. Why not broadcast? Besides, it's still playing continuously. The director's tone is very tough. He looked at me intently and said, but, there's still one more thing to discuss with you. I'm excited, laughing and saying, come on, I'm listening. Akai often said that his fate was great, but this time he did not pass. He was treated as an over-target. This is definitely not revealed. After thinking about it, there is only one way that I have to change my name to a Thai. No profit, bad luck. Whoa, your name was on the list of dead a long time ago, right? His dead name has already been used by a Thai, so that people will not know that he used the name of a Kai who has just died. Oh, don't you live another life? That statement of the director proved to be very difficult to refute, making me blink again. In short, your and a Thai's names have changed. Call me a Thai, right? Yes. Missing a few lines, confusion is common. The mine manager came over and patted me on the shoulder, his face suddenly smiling. A Thai got married last year. Oh, that woman is a flower, isn't she? I also laughed. That woman, what a woman. What if you also find a wife like that? Hell, I don't have that fate. Yes, as long as he agrees to change his name to a Thai, people will continue to be his wife, the one named a Thai. I finished the discussion, gave the 2 people 50,000 dong, equivalent to 100 million Vietnamese dong, as a welcome bonus from the mine leader. Really? I couldn't believe my ears. I let out a sigh. When I saw that woman, I knew that the director's words were true. The half-fishing mine manager didn't fool me either. Thus, I changed my name to a Thai, and even got a wife. On the day of the opening of the room, The director of the mine also came to visit and always praised me as a great benefactor of the mine leader. In order to have a stable life, the mine manager secretly told me to take the beautiful woman away, open a small shop, and consider it done. I know, if I continue to work at this mine, maybe one day, I will reveal the truth of the matter. Oh, ha ha, laugh agree. Because, when I entered the cave, I began to step into the life of still being human and happy. The director kept his promise, and the allowance to cut the other guy was still distributed. Moreover, there is no need to go to the mine, as it is transferred directly to my account. Randomly meet each other. One rainy afternoon, listening to the song of singer Tai Chow, meet again by chance, thinking about you again, although the meeting last year was not by chance. If you leave me, I will leave. Oh my God, what is it, Papa? Thought only Mrs. Lon was going to become a monk. Why are you talking so much as a man? For the crime of lying, I had to carry you down the mountain. Talking like that, I bent down to carry it, even though you punched me in the back for fear of falling. The road was narrow, steep and dark. The crescent moon in the sky was not bright enough for my steps. It was also the first time and the last time you went to the temple with me, even though before the Buddha, I prayed for you and me to be together forever. Not trying where we connect. At that time I was running away from an unhappy past after a breakup at the age of 23. You came to me like a destiny. I struggled and struggled with whether I should accept your love, when you were too young to be strong enough with me to overcome social prejudices and family barriers. In the end, I lost to your persistence. I closed my eyes to love and defy. The first day he took me home to debut, he said that he temporarily pleased his parents, and then, slowly he said later, I'm sure my parents will love me. Trust me. Although it was very annoying when my parents asked about the situation that I dared not talk about, I did not know what else to do. My parents love me very much. After a few times they asked to bring Beetle Nut and Erica to pick me up. We keep making appointments for the next 3 years. He works in the sea, floating day and night on the waves. I'm on the mainland going to work and waiting. I'm afraid that you will be sad every night. I call and sing to you, until you pretend to sleep. I turn off the phone and don't forget to say my wife goodnight. Try to wait for me more time. If my parents don't accept it, I can also support each other when we are alone. I love you very much. Will try my best to make up for you. I cried because of love, because of joy. That feeling later and forever I will not find, can be seen anywhere. Every time we go back home, we roam together. In the afternoon, I cook the dishes you like to eat. Then invite me to sit on the basket for you to paddle around on the sea. I take you to the shrimp farming brothers. Lobster, I rest my head on the side of the basket and feel happy. Late at night, resting his head on his shoulder, sitting on the wharf looking at the moon on the sea, and listening to the waves crashing at his feet after drinking with friends. In 3 years, you have never hurt me, only I sometimes find random anger for you to comfort. For example, I don't let you go diving because there was a time when you almost suffocated because of a problem with the air pipe, but you also secretly did it because you wanted to make a lot of money to support the future. I often say how much life is not enough for me to love, why waste it? It seemed like every moment he cherished. It is said that husband and wife together is predestined, so what is love when we meet each other? That's a question that I don't have a satisfactory answer to in this life. So that when we are not together like this, I have a reason to stop tormenting. For 8 years you were away from me. For 8 years I was tired of searching, waiting, hoping. You are the most cruel woman in the world. I want you to think that way for you to feel less pain and less hate. After the party night at the company, I borrowed the yeast to confess to your mother after days of struggle and deception. But it's also really funny, I was drunk and had to drink my tongue 100 times before I could say the sentence, Mom, I'm sorry, I'm the one who once had an unfinished business and had a child of my own. I didn't dare to say it. With you, I lied to you and the whole family, the clan. At that moment, I heard her dumbfounded. That terrible silence seemed to last forever. I broke my thigh to muster up the courage to say it. Then I burst into tears, crying until I couldn't breathe. The other side also cried. Mother said, "Why are you like this? Why are you lying to my parents? Now all my relatives and aunts and uncles know. Why am I facing them, and how should I talk to his paternal side, son? And your father too, thinking about it, my mother couldn't. And his future too, how could he?" At that point, I was silent, the way I couldn't open my mouth to say more, explain I like it more. It compresses like a tree tied by a string, shrinking, frustrated and choked. Mom said, "I love you very much, but I'm sorry, if you also love me, please break up with him. One more time, I'll see you. Teacher said that if you two get married, will die. If you don't die, you'll live together forever." My mom told me she didn't say it, she said she can't leave me. I know she loves me now, she can't let go, I only look at you. She was silent again, a silence deep in tears of despair. At that moment, my pride and love for you made me agree. I forgot you in the most stupid and childish way. I chose to get drunk and joke with my friends, and then at night I despise myself, curse myself badly. I said a short and cruel goodbye to you. To the point where he couldn't let himself sober up for a month. I found you hiding, I called you to lock the phone. I just said that I'm not suitable, I've missed other people. That's why it satisfies a heart that loves and trusts me so much. I kept quiet, gave up my number, and left to make a career elsewhere. The days when I missed you so much, I used an unknown number to call, just listen to your short and frustrated voice and hang up the phone when I hold my breath and keep quiet for fear of being discovered. That's just how happy I am. At night, I crave for you to sing to me. I crave the words you remind me every night until my stomach burns. The Central Highlands rainy season is persistent and sad. It is said that time makes love fade, but I am still the same after so many years. It is just a memory that presses down after the chaos of rice and clothes, and then comes across a familiar image, a similar look or a human face. Or a song he used to sing in the past, reminiscent of it wakes up painfully and depressed all day. I once met your friend in Saigon, he said you were still there, rarely spoke or smiled, no matter how many people you match with your mother and siblings, you shook your head and left. I'm so sorry, but I told you not to be soft, you probably need more time. I love you dearly. Konho. A year before the stormy season, listening to the radio reports that boats and ships were missing, some seafarers were engulfed by storms, I stood still all day waiting for the news to be published to see if there were any clues about you. I called, no one answered my number. My gut is like fire. I decided to go to the island to find you. Mom stood inside the wharf with the girls in the neighborhood, seeing her mother looking surprised, she shyly greeted. My mother took me into the house to hear the cries of children from the yard. Before I could ask anything, I saw him outside the well struggling to dry a baby's diaper. Inside the house, a young girl greeted me. I tried to smile at that situation. Tears rolled down a man's cheeks, he cried and hugged me in front of her and her cheeks. I cry, my mother cries. I've arrived late. I've been married to her for a year, on a walk and happened to meet. I suddenly felt very angry at myself. I was wrong to return to this trip, I should have disappeared forever. I returned to the wharf to wait for the late return trip. The sea breeze blows in the heart and sounds bitter and salty. Mom saw you off with a hug, she said you were very good, I hope you find someone to love you and take care of you, my heart still loves you very much. I have never been angry. It's just sad that we meet each other at the wrong time. I promise to live responsibly with my wife and children, so that your sacrifice will be complete after listening to my mother telling all the stories of the past. The boat mixed with the red sunset like your eyes now. It was also the last boat trip that buried our love story under the waves. Then I will live with my choice to deserve it, right? I would like to send this love to stay. To step towards the shore, the heart is as light as the boat that has just passed through the storm.